Well, hi, good morning. It's September 13th here, and today I want to take a look at the light bulbs that need to go into this radio. Doing a little bit of research here just before starting the video. It's a problem. I'm pretty sure it's a problem I probably can't deal with easily here. So the deal is, it's got these big sockets here, unusually big bayonet sockets for, I guess, unusually big light bulbs. Now I have a few light bulbs with that size socket, like this one. It would kind of go in there. Most of the glass bulbs sticking out. I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Like that. A little unusual, that's for sure. That's really for sure. I mean, having a bulb stick this far out on the front panel. Usually what's going on here with these bulbs is they're trying to take the filament and line it up exactly with the edge of the glass. Which the light is really coming from the filament, although when we look at a light bulb, we kind of think the light's coming generally out of the bulb. It's really just coming from the filament. It's really almost like a point source of light. And you need that lined up precisely with the glass. Then usually there's a cover or some way in which the rest of the light is blocked. So light can only go straight from the filament straight into the edge of the glass. And then that gives the glass a beautiful look. This doesn't seem to be done that way at all. This is done differently. This bulb, if it were this bulb, this is an automobile bulb. This is a 12-volt bulb. It's absolutely inappropriate for the radio here, except I think it's the right dimensions. Or is it? So in it goes. And the filament, get this to lock in, okay, so, but the filament is way out past the glass on this bulb. So here's another one. This is a GE 1156. Turns out this is a 25 watt, I can't remember the voltage on it, 12 volt bulb or something like that. It looks the same as the automobile bulb. I have a couple with longer glass globes on them, but these are 120 volt bulbs. These are really intended to run right off the line voltage. They can't be used. All the rest of my lights have a small bayonet or a miniature bayonet base, not this size. Looked on the schematic, it's definitely a 6.3 volt bulb. Let's take a look at the information that's available here. Okay, we can start here with the schematic, and here's the light bulbs right there. Diode lights, 5 CP, 6.3 volts. I don't know what this 5 CP is. Haven't found anything on the internet that relates to it. And there's a part number, 13857. I guess that would be a Rogers part number. I haven't searched on that yet. So there's another diagram here, and I think you see it's, 6.3 volts. Another diagram we can look at. That's this one. And here they show the lights. And when you look at that, the globe is barely bigger than the base. Dial light bulb part number. And no more information about it. So what has happened to this radio that has these huge sockets? Let's take another look and see if somebody has retrofit this radio in some way. I really doubt it. I'm pretty sure they're the original sockets. Let's see if we can see any evidence at all of somebody monkeying around here. What could happen is a repair guy like me might change sockets so the lights that person has can go in. This has a bracket screwed here. The bracket is sized for this kind of socket. I just can't imagine that this has been been replaced in any way. There's just 3 wires coming up here. Why would there be 3 wires? So one of them is the grounding. I'll lose this black wire. Maybe they're carrying the grounding across to the other lamp. Let's take a look here. So we have the two wires coming up from out of the radio. The black one is going over here, which we can assume is the ground. The power one coming up here. So I think what's going on here is the socket is insulated completely from the ground. They're not utilizing the chassis in any way. And this is insulated in such a way that neither the power terminal or the center terminal or the side is connected to the chassis. The whole thing is insulated. Why would they do that? Why would they bother doing that? Let's take a look at the schematic again, just for curiosity's sake. We'll take a look at the schematic here. So it just shows XX going to this winding here, XX. So 6.3 volts across it, and then they have a ground there. Let's just zoom in on this a little bit. So one of the problems with the heaters and tubes is that they can pass a hum into the tube's actual operation by accident. So there's usually attempts made to reduce that possibility, and that's what's happening here, where they grounded this center tap, and then they're sending the voltage 6.3 out of here. Well, that explains why you can't ground either one of these terminals here, because the ground point is the center tap. You're not really supposed to be drawing any power or current in this. So that's why. So if we look, we will see that the tubes also, they show X and X. They don't show one grounded to the chassis, which is common in many radios. Not in this one. This one they've decided to isolate the. So that means you can't put a ground on here. If you were to try to operate the light to ground, you'd get half the voltage here, and you'd upset this arrangement, and almost certainly a hum would come out of the radio. So we're stuck with what it is, 6.3 volts. Have to think a bit about changing the sockets. That's not an easy thing to do. It's not like, these things are made specific for this radio, like this bracket is made specifically for this radio and the light. You can just somehow attach another socket here. It's just not an easy thing at all. There may be LED light replacements that are available, even for this bit of an odd bulb here, whatever it is. I have, in one old radio, I've installed the alternate LED lights, 6.3 miniature lights, work great. Fantastic choice for that radio. But in a lot of radios, the filament lineup with the glass is absolutely critical to give that look, that fantastic dial look. We should look inside the cabinet and just see what kind of light baffling is in there, in case there is some in the cabinet. So I have to go and grab it. We'll take a look at it. Okay, let's take a look inside the cabinet here. Okay. So of course the glass dial is going up in this area. Now you can see these drilled out recesses in the wood. There's 6 of them here, 6 over here. Those are about in a quarter inch deep. Things like this are usually done to accommodate protrusions on the front of the radio, and one such protrusion would be the light bulb, and the light bulb could sit right there. And you see the darkened area in there. Same thing on the other side, slightly darkened area, probably from the light bulb touching this. So the light bulb sinks in there a little bit. And what are these other ones? And this. So if we look on the front of the radio, what else is there protruding at the front of the radio that it would be necessary to accommodate inside the cabinet, since the objective is to get this glass, I'm pretty sure, right up tight onto the wood. If you can get this glass pushed up tight onto the wood, then that would essentially block light from coming around like this, or worse yet, shooting out into your eye, because you're looking at it like this, and you don't want to see these light bulbs at all. They have to be quite well hidden. So we can assume that if this is the right kind of light bulb, size-wise, this top would protrude about the same amount as these. Those are the other protrusions that it's trying to handle. So put in the light, which doesn't go in very good. Okay. Oh no! Oh my gosh! No! That's way out further. You put this light bulb in here, there's no way that cabinet's gonna come up against it. You're gonna have a totally different look. This can't be the right shape of light bulb. It must be a light bulb with a smaller glass globe, like the diagram showed. The globe was just a bit bigger than the Saga. What have they done here? And why would they use these like a non-standard? Of course, this is a pretty old radio, so what was standard back then, I don't know. But this is not a common size bulb to find in a radio. Not at all. There's a bell going off that I have a box of other light bulbs. There's a bell. I gotta go answer the bell. See if I can find a box of other light bulbs here. Funny how things come to mind. So here we go. Look at this. I think I've got the right lights. B1. What's the voltage, please? Let's say on the box. So let's use the same box for lots of different lights. Look at that smaller globe. Big base. And I'm looking for a voltage rating stamped on here. There's no rating. Come on. Come on. I've got to say it somewhere. I think these are the right bulbs though. You're going to sell lights and not write the voltage that they operate with? We'll have to test these and make sure they're not 12 volts. Let's try one in the radio though. Well, if it's a 12 volt, I can always, yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Right through the hole. It's the only way, oh, perfect. Now the filament is lining right up with the glass. Wow, double thumbs up, Jim. Good thing I remembered that. You know what it was? I know what it was. I'm about 1/3 through my coffee and it's just kicking in. Bingo. Fantastic. Okay, talking about coffee. I'm going to go drink some more, then we'll try these lights. Okay, so I put the bulbs in and I noticed something very interesting. Never really noticed before. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not. The filament inside this bulb is vertical. And the other bulb's the same. You can see the other one over here. The filament is vertical, and it's lined up perfectly with the glass edge. Then we're going to put on the cabinet. We'll push the radio forward. These things will go into the recesses. This will go into a recess. And the front piece of wood will come up right here very tightly. So no light leaks out. You can't look in and see the bulb. That's the idea when you put this radio back together. And then the filament is shining directly into the edge of the glass. And the result is, this whole thing should light up beautifully. Should be really good. Not out of focus. Should be in focus. And looking really nice. So hey, why don't we try it? There's no reason why I can't try it. You don't need to listen to it to try it. Unfortunately, the bulb's going to come blasting out like this. So to properly imitate the situation, I have to cover those bulbs with something. What have I got? I've got some. I've got something here. I've got to find something. Well, I have these, but I have ones that are not clear. I don't have any spare, not clear ones. Okay, got to cover those bulbs somehow. It's no use turning it on until I figure out how to do that. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's turn on the radio here. Only one light came on. They are bright. They are super bright. Bright in the camera, bright in my eyes. And that's not even full voltage yet. Okay, let me darken my spot here. Okay, off with the lights. Off with these lights here. Oops. That's it. I've got an automatic light in this shop that just won't quit here. I have to tell it. Do not activate. Turn off. How much more? I bet it comes back on in a moment. So there we are. Beaming away. Yeah. Son of a gun. Okay, I gotta unplug this light. Yeah, we've been automating the lights in our house. Boy, has that been going bad. Yeah, lights we can't turn on anymore. You have to work through like 3 pieces of software, each talking to each other. It's just a stupid arrangement. There we go. Okay, that's not coming back on. With the dim bulbs in the background, I will now cover these. This will be imitating what's going to happen. Ah, you see how that dial is just glowing like a son of a gun. Wow. That is fantastic. Unfortunately, it kind of highlights the dust and stuff like that. Probably most of this is on the outside. No. No, that dusty look is coming from behind. Yikes. Now I can see the limits of the radio cabinet right here. You can see where it actually sits. But look at the way that is just beaming out like I've never seen before, and that's because these are pretty powerful lights. Let's get them full. Hang on tight. This isn't. That's unbelievable. It's like headlights on a car in here now. The whole room is lit up with these things. I don't know if these are right because they are putting out so much light here. They're going to be drawing power. Like these have to be 10 or 15 watts. It's crazy. Look at the you think X-rays are shooting out of that thing. Oh my gosh, the light will come out of the back of the cabinet. To think of that. That's crazy. That's just crazy bright. And now these lights are too hot. These got hot from the heat of these lights. Well, these have to be 10 watt lights or something like that. That's putting a substantial increase on. Let me turn up some other lights here in my shop. That's going to put an extra load on the transformer. Now the transformer to this point has been very cool. And that's because the transformer is wound for 25 cycles so at 25 cycles it would get a little warm, but at 60 cycles it just so happens these guys don't even get warm. There's nothing going on here. So it's probably got huge capacity, thermal capacity. And a couple extra watts from these lights isn't going to matter. I can't believe how bright this. I mean, this is crazy, right? I mean, look at this is lighting up my whole shop here. Yeah, it's like staring into headlights. Okay, but I think that might be the right light. Let's see if I can figure out what the wattage is on those lights. Oh, you know how I could tell? Well, I can't take them out right now, but I could read the wattage draw. Let's do that. It's 114 volts. I've got white spots in front of my eyes everywhere now. The wattage is 66 watts. 66 watts. And what does the radio itself claim? It draws, because 66 watts. Okay, hang on. Can I just pop these out without burning my hand? No, I'm going to burn my hand. Okay, so we're going to let these cool off. 66 watts. We'll let them cool off. I'll take them out. We'll run it again, and we'll see how many watts these lights are adding us. Wow, there's more power in those lights than in the rest of the radio. I got spots before my eyes. I can't see anything anymore. Okay, lights are out. Let's give it another run here. We'll see how many watts the radio draws without those lights. So, I mean, I guess there's a really good chance these just aren't the right wattage. These are just way too high wattage. And does it not really? It just doesn't say anything here. Quality lighting. Really, it's just B. Well, I'll have to look at 10 pieces. B1. 81. 81. That's 81. Okay, I'll look up an 81 light and we'll see what we get. Okay, radio is on. Yep. 50 watts. 50 watts. 50 watts full voltage. 66 with the lights. 16 watts. They're 8-watt light bulbs. It's just no way. I think mostly little lights and radios are like a watt and a half. Not an 8-watt light. Okay, we'll look into what an 81 is supposed to be. Okay, so I'm just on a Bulbtown website. Here is the 81 BA15S base. Yeah, that's what I think is the right base number. And this guy is how many watts? Number 81 miniature bulb BA15S base, 6.5 volt, 1 amp, 6.6 watts, so about 7 watts. So it's close to the 8 that I got. 6-watt light. And I just can't imagine that's correct. Videos about them. Oh my gosh, bulbs are that complicated? Yes. 81. So I need to find some kind of bulb with a BA15S base that's like 1 watt or 2 watts. Jeepers. So exciting. So excited. Now so disappointed.